Hello, I am not the nostalgia critic. Sorry about that. Welcome to yet another episode of Kaiju Clashes. I promised this in my other video with Adam, the Battle of the Cyborgs, MechaKing Ghidorah versus MechaGigan, I guess. In any case, let's get this started. Coming in at 140 meters is MechaKing Ghidorah, with a wingspan of 175 meters and weighing in at 80,000 tons. Gigan comes in at 95 meters and 47,000 tons. In terms of weight and size, MechaKing Ghidorah pretty much dwarfs the poor little guy. So, when it comes to history, MechaKing Ghidorah was created after the organic King Ghidorah was pretty much decimated by the Heisei Godzilla. King Ghidorah's middle head was blown off, its wings were torn to bits, and it fell into the ocean where it rested for a good 200 some odd years in a cryogenic state. Emmy, one of the characters, decides to revive King Ghidorah by outfitting it with metal armor and 23rd century technology before bringing it back to the past to fight Godzilla. MechaKing Ghidorah put up an incredible fight against Godzilla and used its capture cables to fly Godzilla out to the ocean before it was shot down by Godzilla. Something tells me that plan wasn't thought out too well. In which case, both creatures plummeted into the ocean, and MechaKing Ghidorah was later seen in Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2 briefly, where its metal armor was lifted off and created Mechagodzilla 2. For a full description on Mechagodzilla 2, please see the last video. I'm not going through that again. And I don't have Adam here. Oh well. On to the Final Wars MechaGigan. I'm going to call him MechaGigan because he looks more badass. Now, MechaGigan was apparently first seen thousands of years ago when he first fought Mothra. Mothra cocooned him until the Zillions came back and revived him to fight Godzilla. Well, not Godzilla, but destroy humanity. Gigan chased after the Gotengo when they tried to resurrect Godzilla. Gigan got into a brief, very brief brawl with Godzilla. Godzilla subsequently blew Gigan's head off and left him there to rot. But later on, after the appearance of Monster X, I'll get into him later, maybe, who knows. Godzilla was getting his ass kicked by Monster X, and Gigan comes in for the second beat-up. But Mothra pops in and fights with Gigan. Gigan takes off a bit of Mothra's wing with his, new chainsaw blade hands. I'll get into the weapons later. And fires... Now, bear with me here. Fires nipple chainsaws. Dead serious. They, pop out of his chest. Try to kill Mothra. I'm going, dude, really? But in any case, Mothra appears to dodge them, but the blades come back and slice Gigan's head off. Again. But turns out he can still move, but Mothra decides to ram right through Gigan, exploding in the process, taking them both out. Seriously destroying Gigan this time. Well, in both cases, the monsters were defeated, so... Well, in this case, Gigan being twice. Well, I can say the same for Mecha Ghidorah. Oh well. Anyway, let's get on to armaments here, shall we? MechaKing Ghidorah. Well, the original King Ghidorah has the ability to bend gravity itself to its will, and MechaKing Ghidorah still has this ability. Using anti-gravity, MechaKing Ghidorah can fly up to speeds of Mach 4, which is rather surprising given its gigantic size. MechaKing Ghidorah can also fire 2 yellow gravity beams out of its side mouths, and the middle mouth, which is entirely mechanical, can fire a laser triple blast. It's all sorts of pretty in colors. It's like a rainbow, man. Well, in any case, MechaKing Ghidorah is outfitted in some form of 23rd century armor that can apparently take up quite a few blasts from Godzilla. And this is the Heisei I ain't screwing around Godzilla. Now, MechaKing Ghidorah also has 4 capture cables and 1 machine hand. The capture cables are designed to grab the enemy by the elbows and knees, while the machine hand grabs it by the torso, discharging an incredible amount of electricity, thus making shock therapy seem pleasant. MechaKing Ghidorah also has solar panel wings that might be able to be used to distract the enemy, kind of, I guess, through the solar flare, I guess. I mean, I'm pretty blinded if I look into a mirror that's facing the sun. That would suck. MechaKing Ghidorah is also outfitted with paralyzer missiles and a small energy shield. Now, Gigan, he has 2 appearances, so I don't know which one I should use, but I should give the outfitting on both. The first form of Final Wars Gigan has 2 sickle hands that can fire 2 capture cables each. These don't actually discharge energy like Mecha Ghidorah's does. Gigan also has a laser energy blast that comes out of his eye, which is kind of more like a cluster bomb. It's powerful enough to take out the Go Tango in 1 or 2 shots. He also has a chainsaw on his stomach, making him rather deadly at close range, though I can't tell the effectiveness of the stomach chainsaw simply because it never actually touches anybody. The capture cables, of course, are used to reel in Godzilla, but he decides to blow off Gigan's head first. Now, Gigan in both forms is capable of speed only up to Mach 3. So, oops, he's actually not that fast given his small stature, which means the metal that's basically made out of his entire body, there's like very little organic bits left. Gigan is pretty much all metal, therefore making him far heavier than the organic MechaKing Ghidorah, and he can't bend gravity to his will. Oops. Well, in any case, after Gigan got his head blown off, he got a new head and hands replaced. Now he has chainsaw hands, like Bruce Campbell. Only not as cool, because he doesn't have a boomstick. Well, yeah, no. And in his second form, he has those nipple buzz saws I told you about. I mean, seriously, Toho, nipple buzz saws. Did anybody ever say that out loud when they were writing this down, or were they just laughing their asses off? Well, in any case, this Gigan doesn't actually seem to be that much stronger. Well, while Monster X is holding down Godzilla, he's slashing away. But he was easily knocked down by Mothra. Seriously, Mothra, thrown in at last minute, how bad is that, getting your ass kicked by a colorful bug? In any case, Gigan went to fight Mothra. After a brief aerial battle where Gigan simply smashed into Mothra multiple times, he actually did manage to cut off one of her, a bit of her wings, so that definitely shows how well the chainsaws work. Then again, Mothra's wings are rather thin. Seriously, the nipple buzzsaws. I'm still on about that. Well, they are seen to be deadly enough to go through his own head, so that sucks. And he can survive without his head this time, though I'm not entirely sure how well he fights. He literally prematurely detonates before he can see anything happen. And there's one last thing MechaGigan can do. He can grab you with his multiple clawed tails. It's more like a pincer, actually. Now, with all these weapons at their disposal, I would definitely have to say if it started off as an aerial battle, MechaKing Ghidorah does get the edge. He literally flies at Mach 4 here, while MechaGigan only flies at Mach 3. This isn't going to be a pleasant battle for MechaGigan, as MechaGhidorah's superior size and speed would easily knock him out of the air. And when it comes to all-out weapons, I don't know whether Gigan's saws will actually get through the metal, because Gigan's armor is obviously far weaker because the Final Wars Godzilla, which isn't as strong as the Heisei. I'm sorry, Final Wars fanboys, but it's the truth. The Final Wars Godzilla took off Gigan's head in one shot. Literally, one shot completely obliterated his face. MechaGhidorah took multiple Heisei shots, and that's impressive. Not to mention regular Ghidorah, the organic bits are more than enough to take Godzilla's rays. So in terms of a defense, I'd say MechaGhidorah is far better. Gigan's capture cables, like, if this actually turned out to be like a capture cable war, MechaGhidorah is not gonna budge. He is far heavier than Gigan, and there's no ice to actually help slide Godzilla towards him. So MechaGigan's capture cables would be useless. And if this were to come to I don't know, fisticuffs, I guess, or chainsaws to cust, whatever it is. MechaGhidorah is far larger. It can easily overpower Gigan. Not to mention MechaGhidorah's tails are not something you want to be around. They're a lot like Gigan's own tails, so even if Gigan actually got behind him, it wouldn't be pleasant. MechaGhidorah is not only a tank, but he's able to move pretty fast too, given his size and weight, while Gigan's rather slow in comparison. So when it comes, well, Gigan is actually also kind of a tank, but he's a very slow-moving tank, and he's more focused on attack. If he doesn't dominate the battle to begin with, he's going to lose. Like, he had to be fast to take out the Gotengo, so he took it out in one shot with his chainsaw stomach. Oh, well, actually, I was wrong. The chainsaw stomach did actually take out the Gotengo, which could also only take one shot from Godzilla's nuclear breath. Wow, everything in Final Wars sucks. Humanity, you suck in Final Wars. I can't compare it to anything in Heisei. I can't. Everything in Heisei is overpowered. Well, in this case, I would say the capture cables would also be rather deadly against Gigan. It would definitely hold him down, shocking the crap out of him, while MechaGhidorah blasts the living crap out of him. Let's just say in this form of combat, MechaGigan would absolutely be destroyed by MechaGhidorah. While Gigan may be one of Godzilla's rivals, MechaGhidorah is his arch-rival. The only one that may be able to take on Ghidorah or MechaGhidorah would be one of the big fives or Destroyer. The big five being, Godzilla, Mechagodzilla, Ghidorah, Mothra, and I'm forgetting somebody. Rodan. Is it Rodan? I think it's Rodan. Anyway, any one of those big five are the only one to have a chance against Ghidorah as well as Destroya. In my opinion, Godzilla's complete, ultimate nemesis. But we'll get to Destroya later. I gotta figure out who to pit him against. And a thought hits me. Destroya versus Gigan. Next video, people. In any case, Gigan is easily blown to bits in this. Could you call it a fight or more of a massacre? In any case, Ghidorah is the winner, people. MechaKing Ghidorah. All praise Ghidorah. Stay tuned for my next video, Gigan versus Destroya. Have a wonderful day.